Fellow South Africans, are the gloves off? Are the gloves off between South Africa and Nigeria? Now, listen to this clip and I will come back with my commentary because to me, looks like the gloves are off and I'm loving it. Here we go.
If you own a property in South Africa, it's registered. If it's a house, it's registered with the deeds, deeds register, Office of the Deeds Register. If you own a car, it's registered in the INAT system. If you own a business, it's registered with the CIPC. If you're renting offices, they're registered with landlords. But we'll be interested to know where the drug dens of Nigerians are. So they can show us where they've been holding the drugs so that we can clean the drugs in South Africa quite urgently. Those who had properties in South Africa, those properties are in the law. Informal squatter camps and informal settlements are never properties because they are illegal in the country. So you are already violating our law if you're going to tell us about a shack in some informal settlement. That's why we have also, as government, approved the PI, what is the protection of, the one that makes sure that when we evict and remove informal settlements, there's no longer going to be informal settlements built in the areas, including the evictions in the informal settlements, in line with our court judgments. So if there's no compensation that will come from government, those who leave their properties, if they are properly legally registered in the country, they can dispose of the properties in the property market in South Africa, whether it's a movable or immovable property. And we are going to seriously appreciate to be told where are the drug dens. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you. And then let's ask this question before I come back here. Minister and Ramaphosa cabinet, what was so difficult in being this assertive? I don't get it. Because this is what South Africans have been wanting from you guys for the longest time. To grab the bull by the horn and wrestle with it. But no, y'all were just trying to please these African leaders because you were too afraid, selling us in the process. So let's come back to this. Earlier on, I posted a video about Nigeria intending to take South Africa to court for compensation of loss of property and income and all that nonsense and lies that those Nigerians that left South Africa running away. No. Doing the best what they do and running away. And this time around, they're not running away from. Okay, let's leave that part. There's no xenophobia in South Africa. Never was, never will be. But hey, let's go with that narrative. They left South African shores, and when they got on the other side of our country, like many countries, they land and then they lie. They say that, oh, back in South Africa, they left property. Now, in my previous video, I did take you through a process of how to acquire property in South Africa. And the minister right here is actually telling those that are seeking compensation from us, and she's very clear that government is not going to be paying no compensation. So that alone says, take us to court and bring it on. Because those people must explain if those properties are registered, they are titled, they have title deeds and in the deeds office. And also, this is the part that was my favorite, that shows that the gloves are off. Where are the drug dens? Oh, when I heard that, no, she didn't say it once, she said it twice. Where are the drug dens? Listen, my brother, take the minister to each and every one of them. And on top of that, Xolani Khumalo, you need to go and show her the police stations that harbor these people that are manufacturing drugs, pushing these drugs, and selling these drugs to our communities, because you would do a bust with the police. The Nigerian gets arrested. The next day, he's on the street doing the exact thing that you had busted them on. So you need to show the minister the dens. Oh, the drug dens. That part show. I'm telling you right now, that was an order from the president. The South African Police Service, if now the army is still around and we still have change of the 600 million rand, they are all over these drug dens like bad rash as I am filming this video. Because they are there. They exist. And since they are there and they exist, we want to see them Nigerians squabbling up and packing and running away. Like, the kind of stuff they do. Cowards. Because now the government is involved. Before it was just us South Africans crying about drug dens in our communities, crying about drug dens that are providing this poisonous substance to our children and killing the future of this country. And now the government finally listened and has made an order. What I did not like about this order, it was not direct. It was indirect. Because I think for some reason, South Africa is still trying to appease their African counterparts. I still don't understand what that is all about. But then, of course, you and I can make our speculation and assumptions that they don't want to antagonize those African countries since they run companies themselves where they own shares at the expense of South African people's lives. So now they need to skin the cat in different ways, and hence a very undertone executive order where she asked twice about the drug dens run by Nigerians. Oh, she made it very clear that it's run by Nigerians. So quite clear that in the background, there's been push and shove and all that diplomatic stuff that they do in the background when Nigeria is pushing for compensation and the South African government is pushing that your people are selling drugs to our people. Back and forth, back and forth. And I think they did not reach an agreement on that one. So I guess Nigeria will be proceeding with their compensation nonsense. And South Africa is like, well, two can play that game. We are going to be smoking out all of your drug dealers in South Africa, wherever they may be. Like I said, if the South African police and the army caught on that executive order, as I am filming this video, we are going to hear reports that Nigerians are getting arrested left, right, and center, and they so-called products, produce, whatever it is that you call them, that they call business and investment in South Africa, will be busted, exposed, and these Nigerians will be thrown in court, prosecuted, convicted, and when they have done with their sentences, be deported from South Africa and banned for life. That is what I am foreseeing if this is what I'm reading. Because there's a lot of reading between the lines, and I hate that. But I do commend the government, because apparently, from what I am understanding, these are cabinet meeting resolutions that they've had, I guess, today or yesterday or whenever it was. And so they are briefing the nation about the decision that they've taken. And part of this decision is to drive out Nigerians from South Africa, a call we've been making forever. But as the saying goes, the proof is in the pudding when we actually see Nigerians dwindling in numbers in South Africa. And I want to say something to those South African ladies that are married to them. You must remember, this is culture, Siswami. You are married to Nigeria. So when your husband packs up and leave, you and your little ones, if little ones were produced, you have to go along with him. I'm just letting you know. Because we already know that you were married to him. And those that know that you were married to a Nigerian, when they leave, because they're going to run away, You will wake up in the morning and your Nigerian husband would have ran away. Do not waste too much time. Mlandele sis. Konke namachwane akho. Landela sis, you are no longer a South African. You now have become a Nigerian wife. You know how they say it? My wife or our wife? Azish. Azishe. So we are not going to be playing those games either because you're no longer a South African as far as we are concerned. And Home Affairs needs to understand that it's not only cultural, but it's also Western law. Yeah, you're no longer South African sisters. Hambi ekhaya, kwandoda yakho, ubumakoti kubo. All right? Kids are making noise and I feel like I am competing with them outside while I'm filming. So I am going to end this video right here and just let you know that I don't know if you're reading the same thing that I'm reading, that the gloves are off between South Africa and Nigeria. Diplomacy is in jeopardy between these two countries. I also heard something that usual. Oh, we are also going to boycott MTN and all that stuff. And they're just shooting themselves in the foot with that one. Because South Africa is there to develop Nigeria with the companies that we have in those respective countries. They act as if they're doing us a favor when it's actually South Africa doing them a favor. And while we are being accused of xenophobia, Afrophobia, self-hate, and all that nonsense, we'll continue to be finding a cure for Ebola. Yeah, because we don't care. That's what we do when we don't care. We take our scientists and we put them in a lab and say, you need to find a cure or at least a vaccination for Ebola so that we can save the African lives. So much and much, hey, this is all to you. The credit goes to you, much and much. And I heard somebody on TikTok saying much and much is the most pan-Africanist organization. And I agree. Because of the stance of much and much, African countries or African nations, they're probably like, yeah, this is enough. They might start challenging their own leaders. That would be great to see. But other than that, like I said, kids are making noise. I must end this video right here. But I'm glad that our government is beginning to speak like us, even though they're still a little bit cowards about it. But hey, the little light that we're getting from this tunnel is welcome. Goodbye, fellow South Africans, and enjoy your Friday.